Hello everybody. Yes, today is 22nd of February 2019 and I'm going to go straight to the main chart. We want to see if there's anything which you said this week that actually went as you said, and if there's any other thing that we need to add on top of what we looked at just a few days ago. So today's the last week of the last day of the week, sorry. So we want to see if there's any good trade for the day. And we'll start from the main pair, and that should be Euro USD. We'll start with Euro USD. I have it loaded on my screen already. On this chart, I can only see one thing. If you want to trade it today, then the best you should do is actually look for a buy from where I have this horizontal line. I have horizontal line here. So what we want to happen now is for price to actually retrace back to this support. It should come back down up to that support before we see a move like this, before we see price actually pulling back up. So the best you should do now is actually wait for a sell, wait for a buy, a retracement towards this daily support, a support, a support, a support, a support. We want it to come back for the third time so that we can pick a buy to the upper side. And that means you either place a pending buy limit there with the take profit there, or wait for price to break below it clearly. And on the lower side, the next key support I see is this down on the lower end. So these are the places you want to trade from. Either you buy when the price is down at this point, or wait for price to break below a retracement so that you pick a sell towards 1.1255. On the other side, if we buy it from the same place, we want it to go up to 1.1369. So this is from the hourly point of view. On the hourly chart, we actually expect a buy. Wait for a buy from around that point. Then your first take profit, and then the next one should be at a weekly resistance, and that should be here. Give me a second. This is the weekly resistance here. This line, there are a lot of lines here, but the main one which I'm referring to is this. So if you happen to buy it from the daily, as we are saying, from the hourly chart, then you can take profits from 1.1369, or you can also take profit from the very top, which is this 1.1469. These are two places which are actually the best one to take profit from, either this or the next one. So we move to the next chart, and that should be GBP USD. I'm going to clear this chart so that it looks a bit clearer. We are on the hourly chart. So on this chart, I'm only finding the line we are currently seeing. This is called ask line. I'm going to remove it. We have a support here, and we have a resistance at the very top here. So from yesterday, this was on 20th of February. From this day to date, we've not seen price rising above or below. This is like a range. This is like a range, and as long as the price does not clearly rise above it, then we expect it to remain within that range. You're supposed to be waiting for a buy on top, wait for price to pull back up, you pick a sell. Then if it comes down, you pick a buy, and in case it turns back up, you're supposed to pick a sell. So we wait for price from either the top like that, or from the lower end like this. These are the places to sell from. You either sell there, or you wait and buy from the lower end here. You can also sell, and at the top you can also buy from the lower side. So I'm not saying that the price will come to this level like 3 times, like 4 times the way I've indicated. I'm only saying that there are chances that it could bounce from either the lower side or the upper side severally before eventually see a break. So should price break below, should price break above this level, which is highly likely, then we'll wait for a retracement before we pick a move even higher. This is what we expect in the long run. Like the price should break up, retrace back down, so that we pick a buy that point, And on the other side, assuming price does not break above, instead it breaks below like this, then we'll simply wait for a retracement like that, so that we can pick a sell to the lower side. These are the places you either buy here or you sell a break below. These are very good places you need to trade from. So according to the weekly chart, this price is actually upwards, and therefore we expect this resistance to be broken so that we can continue buying it even higher. Somebody may say, why, how comes I'm even suggesting a sell on this one? It's because should price break below this level 1.1320, then this could mean that we are heading to the lower side, but it does not confirm that we are downwards. So overall we are upward from the weekly and the monthly, and we expect even the day hourly chart to continue even higher. So to buy it correctly, wait for a break above, a retracement, we pick a buy from that point, expecting price to proceed even higher. And if you buy it the way I'm saying, then you should be able to have your take profits at the very top. The place where I'm having my line now, this top here, this is actually a weekly resistance and also a monthly resistance. Look at it like this. So from 1993 until now, we had a support. This is 1992, a support. We had a support as the same place, and then we went back to the future support, a support. Then there is this where there's a false break up, then down, then we had a resistance, and we basically want price to come back up to that resistance so that we can pick a sell for the longest time possible. So you want to trade this pair correctly, you are actually supposed to be eyeing these levels. You're supposed to be eyeing to pick a sell from. You should have picked a sell already. You also need to have picked a sell at that point. You need to wait for a sell at that point. So whatever this formation you're seeing, this spin bar and then engulfing candle, actually means that the price what this means is that the price is likely heading upwards. So we want to look for a buy from this point, expecting it to go up to 1.4175. So you pick a buy. We had a buy previously from somewhere there. We are still holding. We expect price to go up to the very top and up to this resistance. This is a monthly resistance. So the best place for long-term sellers is here. And if you want to buy it, you can still look for a buy now, expecting it to go up to the resistance where the other people are waiting to sell from. We'll move to the next chart, and that should be USD JPY. So I'm going to load it afresh and look at it from the hourly point of view to see if there's any good trade. So far, whatever I'm seeing on this chart is consolidation. There's a lot of consolidation from this point. Just look at it like that. Some wedge forming, but it's some sort of consolidation in a way. Just look at the way price remained below it. You can see there's a bounce from on top, then it goes down, a support, it goes up, a resistance, down, a resistance, a resistance, a support, a support. So basically, as long as the price remains below the upper trend line, the one I'm currently marking, then we're looking for a sell. And on the other side, as long as the price remains above the lower trend line, then you want to look for a buy from the same trend line. So these are just support places to buy from. Support there. We also have a support at that point, and we basically want price to clearly break below, either above or below, so that it retraces slightly, maybe up to this level there, so that we can pick a sell to the last. So assuming you are able to sell from here, assuming you sell from that point, then your take profit should be at that point. Instances when price was actually touching this trend line is when you're supposed to take profit. So you need to place a pending, take profit, and also the next one should be there. The same thing applies to the upper side. Should price break above, then you're supposed to take profit on instances when price was touching that trend line and also at the very top, and that should be these levels, this one and also this one. So on the upper side we are eyeing this level, we're also eyeing that level. On the lower side we are eyeing this level, this one, and ultimately this one. So we move straight to the next symbol, and that should be SP500. So SP500, we've been suggesting a buy all along. We keep looking for a buy. We've been buying it since, and the other reason I'm going to say that it's still a buy is this. Just look at the way price moved from 8th of February until now. There was a resistance which was established around this level. We had a resistance, then price went above it with a big candle, then the same zone which was used as a resistance before is now being used as a good support. So we want price to try correcting itself back to this support so that we can pick a buy to the upper side, something like that. And that means I'm going to color this as a zone, as a support. The entire place is a support and a buy place. This is a resistance. We have a resistance, then we have a support there, we also have a support there, then we have a resistance, a support, sorry, though it didn't touch correctly, we also have a support there. In the future, we want price to again retrace back to the same support so that we can pick a buy up to the very top, up to there. So you want to trade this correctly, you should have a pending buy limit, and your stop loss should be below the candle which actually triggered the break above that high. Have your pending buy limit, let me put it there, dotted. So you want to trade this from the hourly point of view, you should have your pending buy limit within the zone I've marked there. Have your stop loss below the candle which actually broke above it, then your take profit should be there, stop loss, and so SP500, I recommend you place a pending buy limit with the setups as I've said. The parameters are supposed to be the same, take profit and stop loss, then this is the entry. We move to the next chart, and that should be Brent oil. Brent oil is there. So with Brent oil, the same thing applies. Just look at it from like this. From 7th of February, the price has been upward. We went up, a retracement, we went up, a retracement, we went up, a retracement, up, a retracement, up, a retracement, then it has gone up, and there was some bit of consolidations somewhere there. So far the price has been able to break above where it consolidating. It went above this zone and is still above it. So we want price to remain as long as the price does not go below 66.56. As long as the price does not go below the lower line 66.56, we actually expect it to continue even higher. So this was a retracement, don't confuse it with a change in trend. We went above it, price is now holding. So we want price to pull back down up to the support before we see a move even higher. So even on this one, you can place a pending buy limit, have your stop loss below, and then your take profit should be at the very top. So as I can see now, there's a resistance which is being established, some short-term resistance. This will be a resistance in the near future. So if you buy from here, so something else, anytime I have a line on my chart that's dotted, then that's either an entry or a stop loss or take profit. In this case, whatever line which I have here, this stands for an entry, is the best place to enter from. So place your pending buy limit there, have your stop loss below there, your first take profit should be here. This is a very good resistance, and in case price breaks above that resistance, then wait for a retracement before you pick another buy upwards. So the main reason I'm suggesting a buy on this space is that you look at it. I'm going to add an indicator, envelopes. How this envelope works is this. Just a second, I give it the correct period of 52. How this indicator works is this, that anytime you have candles closing above it, then you expect price to be continuing upwards, and anytime price breaks below it, then you expect price to proceed to the lower side. Where the price is now, we are actually closing above the same indicator where we are saying that anytime it closes above, you're supposed to buy. So from whatever is happening now, this is a buy. We expect price to proceed upwards. So the best you should do is not to buy it as it is. Place a pending buy limit, have your stop loss, the first take profit, and then the last one should be at some level which will determine in the future. On the 4 hours, it's still a buy. Look at it like this. We have a resistance which was broken. On the first, we're supposed to actually buy there. On the first, you're supposed to wait for a retracement up to this point, maybe up to that level, and then your take profit definitely should not be here. So on the 4 hour chart, this is not the best place to take profit from. If you want to do it correctly on the 4 hours, then your take profit should be here. So we want to buy it from 66.64. we have our stop loss at 65.56, and then the take profit is at 70.82. so pending, stop loss, take profit. We move to the next chart. That should be gold. So far on gold, we've been recommending a buy all along, and it has been going perfectly as we mentioned. So it's only yesterday that we said you're supposed to sell, and also that sell went as you said. Just a second, I have it loaded on my screen here. Gold here. I'm starting it from the 4 hour chart. So on the 4 hour chart, I can see the only reason which stands out for me on this chart is this. There's also another one which stands out, and that's very low. As I've said, I want these ones to be complete line. If not an entry point, then it has to be a complete line. We have that as a resistance. Now the price went above it, retraced back. Sorry, we had that as a resistance, then we also had now this one as a support, this as a support, then this as a support, and we want price to retrace clearly back to the same point so that we can look for a buy to the upper side. If you've not been buying it, as we keep saying, you can still wait for a buy as we speak, but that buy has to come from somewhere around 1323.31. Have your pending buy limit here. You should have it along that line. Have that pending buy limit there. Then have your stop loss below the longest tail you can see, and then your take profit should be at the very top. So the main reason I'm saying you should buy this pair, other than the fact that this was a resistance which was broken, is that the indicator we're having on this chart, price is currently bouncing from it. So that's a good setup. You want a place where the indicator is showing us as a buy, at the same time the real chart is showing you another buy. So you should place a pending buy limit, have your stop loss, and then have your take profit. That should bring us to the end of today's overview. So far we've looked at just all the symbols we wanted to check. We've looked at Euro USD, where I've mentioned you're supposed to look for Euro USDs here. Euro USD, I've said you're supposed to look for a buy, especially if price can pull back to some daily level which I drew. If price can come back down up to that support. Then GBP USD, I've said there's a zone which price has to clearly either above or below, it has to break below so that you can pick a sell or pick a buy in case it breaks above. Then USD JPY, there's a range. We are within some contracting triangular formation, so we want price to either break up below or break above so that you can buy depending on the break above or the break below. Then gold, we are buying. We have a pending buy limit already, pending buy limit, stop loss and take profit. Then Brent oil, we're also waiting for it. We have a pending buy limit, stop loss, and then the first take profit is at 70.82. Then SP 500, we're also having a pending buy limit. So today we have a lot of pending. We have a pending there, break above, support. The current day scan should come back down up to this level so that you can pick a buy to the very top. So somebody's asking me why I'm insisting SP 500 is a buy. The reason is this. The reason it's a buy is this. Just look at this chart from the weekly point of view. Look at it from the weekly point of view. On the weekly, I want to look at it from the longest time frame possible. From this was 2008. The price moved up. There was a very big move to the upper side. Then we saw a slight retracement. Then price continued even higher. Then there was a slight retracement. Then it continued even higher like that. Then there was a slight retracement. It continued even higher. Then there was a slight retracement. It continued higher. Then for the first time we saw a retracement that is bigger compared to the other retracement. So the reason I'm not considering this as a change in trend is because it has to price. If this was a change in trend, then price was supposed to remain below 25.85. So far the price is above it, which means we want price to retrace back down to the same level so that we can pick a buy, and that means that this was a false break. The entire move which you saw here, this is actually a false break. So the best place to buy this index is when the price comes back to 25.85. You pick a buy from that point, have your stop loss at that point, and the take profit should be at the very top of this one. So this is like 50-50. You either gain 50 or you lose 50. It's not a good arrangement, but in case the price goes your way, it's better. If it goes against you, then you'll be expecting to buy somewhere around that point. So far the price has been going as we said. We want to buy it from 25.85, expecting price to spike even higher to 29.26.0. So these are the places. That's why I'm recommending a buy even on the hourly chart. We expect a retracement, yes, but the trend. So thank you very much. See you again on Monday at the same time.